Hi, this is Patrick Geary. I'm going to show you a little bit today about how to make rope. I've slightly modified this hand tool right here. This is actually designed to hold in your hand and turn it. But what I've done is I've drilled a hole right here, and so I can take a bolt and put through there and bolt it to the table. You can see I've kind of modified this table right here. The edge of this table is sticking out a little bit. This is just a plywood top. I've notched it out so I can take the rope making tool and put it in place here. Bolt it through here. Now because this has a little lip right here, I have a little block to put on the back. I just hold it a little more secure. Put a washer on there. Take the butterfly net, put it on there. I modified it a little bit because it's kind of hard for the smaller kids to hold on to this tool and crank it at the same time. I found that what they do is they'll twist it or lean it, and it doesn't hold it very straight. So this way it's pretty sturdy, secured to here. Usually what I do is I put a little wedge into the side because I made the slot a little bit too big, just to keep it from going back and forth this way. But this holds it pretty secure, and then the kids can actually crank it pretty easily right here. And so it's fun for them, so they don't have to fight it. Okay, so this is the next part. I have a hook right here, and you can see that it's just a hook right here that's threaded, and I double nutted it and put a washer on here so this hook actually spins. And this is just a dowel. It's like a 1.25" wood dowel, and so it's just drilled out. And so as the string goes through here, this can spin freely. You have tension on it, and then as the string starts to wind tighter, you let the tension off a little bit, and it starts twisting itself and making the rope. When you get done with the rope, this is what the rope looks like. It starts out with just twine like this right here, and then it ends up looking like this. But basically what we do for the twine is you can kind of judge it yourself how much rope you want to make. We usually go 3 arms lengths. So it'd be 1, 2, and this is a little bit less right here. So you can just tie on together, but basically 3 arms lengths is what you use. Set this one aside. So I'll do it with this one, see if I got 3 with this. So there's 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 right there. So then you just take it and cut it. Get my knife. The knife that I use during the display, I usually have my period clothes on, and I use an old knife to cut it, so it kind of shows the kids, that you can cut it with a knife, or some people like to use the scissors. That's fine too. So what you do is on each end of the twine, I just make a loop on it and tie it off. Just like that. We go to the other end. Same thing. Make the loop. Tie it off. The tighter the loop, the better. It just makes it a little bit easier for tying at the very end. When I get done making them, it actually, these are the loops right here, so you can see them on the end. And you can cut those off if you want. Usually I just tie it in a knot just because it's fast and easy. But you can wrap it, show them how to lash it, and wrap it that way too. So what you do is you start off with one loop, you come down to the machine, you loop it through one of the loops on the machine, you loop it through this right here, you go back to another loop on the machine, you come back to the hook here, and you go back to the loop on the machine, you come back to the hook here. And then where you want to end up with this is the same place you started with your first loop. So you want to hook it on here. Now when you get to that point, you'll probably have to adjust the string because you want all of the twine to be the same lengths in here. So that's basically how you start off, is just like that. Then the person on the other end starts cranking. Now I'll just crank right here real quick. So it starts cranking like this. You can see how, as you're twisting, the twine fibers will start overlapping each other, and they'll start hooking. And you don't want that to happen, so you have to keep running your fingers through here. There's another tool you can make that has like 3 slots on it. You can just keep running it back and forth, or you can just use your fingers. I use my fingers. Some people like to use gloves. That doesn't matter to me. It just doesn't feel that rough. So you just keep on cranking. So the kid keeps cranking. You can see how each one of these is starting to twist into a cord, each one of these. Just keep going, and you're still keeping tension on here. You don't want to let too much off on it yet, because you don't want it to roll up yet. You see how it still catches the fibers right here. So you keep cranking. The tighter you get, the better rope that you're going to get. Also, you need to make sure when you're cranking it that you crank this clockwise. You don't want to go counterclockwise, because then it won't hold. So just keep cranking. It's tighter and tighter. It takes a little bit longer for some of the smaller kids to crank. So you just have to be patient and just talk to them. So you can see right here it's just starting to get pretty tight. So as I can start letting this off, and you can see how it's starting to twist on its own. It's just twisting on its own. So as I let tension off, it starts to twist on its own. So you keep on working it, so you can kind of get each one of the cords kind of even, and make it as tight as you want. If you let it go too far, then it won't be very tight. So you just want to keep working it. So I'm going to hold it right there for a second. I'm going to crank it a little bit more. See, it's starting to go on its own. So this is why you really need 2 people to do it. One person can do it, but it's a lot easier with 2. It's almost complete. So I keep twisting over itself right there. If you don't let it twist down here, then it comes unraveled, so you want to keep on twisting it. So you see how it's twisting. It's pretty tight, so you just hold your fingers on the end of the rope right here and pull each one of these off. And you see here are the ends. These are the 2 that you tied. These are the 2 that are just looped through the eyes. So what I do is I just take it and tie it like this. Because really you're demonstrating how to make the rope, not necessarily how to finish it, but you could do that too. And you just take it and just slide it off the hook. And usually what I do is I pull the rope like this. I show it to the person that I'm making, or that we're making the rope for, or that is actually making the rope. You're just showing them how to do it. And I tell them, this is the rope that John made. This is the rope that Nancy made. I usually ask them their name when they first come up. So this is how we make rope. It's pretty easy, pretty simple, and the kids really love it.